sure, guys, what a time to be an influencer. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, what if those 24 females and males never returned to South Africa? And yet here are our influencers accepting these campaigns and even recruiting more people to go to these countries whereby they are going to be held captive. Now, of course, Usia is one of those influencers currently trending. Now, let me just read this article so that I do not add on any spices, because this is a very serious matter. Now, last year, there were campaigns going around social media calling on, like I said, people between the ages of 18 and 22. They were being promised these beautiful, amazing online jobs. And before leaving South Africa, these men and women were lured to the Kingdom of Thailand under false pretenses by an employment agency that promised them lucrative jobs that were advertised on various social media platforms. These adverts promised the victims good salaries, free accommodation, comprehensive travel expenses, and other lucrative benefits. Now, unfortunately, once they landed in Thailand, they were transported to Myanmar against their will. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Now, these victims were held captive for more than 4 months in a cybercrime compound in Myanmar, which borders Thailand. They were subjected to brutal treatment, including intimidation, physical torture, and forced labor. They were also compelled to engage in illicit activities, including online scams that targeted individuals worldwide. They were held under 24-hour armed security, and a ransom of approximately 50,000 rand was demanded for their release. They were forced to work for 16 hours a day and were frequently beaten or tortured if they refused, and they survived on spoiled food and contaminated water without access to medical treatment. Okay, and this is the kind of campaign these influencers accepted. Imagine more and more South Africans were going to, because they believe in influencers, guys, let's face it, they were going to probably apply. You are going to get free accommodation, you are going to be flown to Thailand, you're going to get sort of like this traveling free experience, guys. Koningi that was being promised to these young South African. Now, unfortunately for Crystal, she decided to delete some of her posts and also just limit her comment section, so I could not get the video whereby she was campaigning for these jobs. However, Usia did come forward. Although she deleted the original post, she did come forward and clear the air and said that, you know what, I know nothing about this, and furthermore, it's your obligation as a person who's looking for a job to do thorough background search. Don't just take my word for what I'm saying. You also need to do your research. So let me insert her video, guys. Your thoughts, please let me know down on the comments, and I'll surely see you guys on the next. Bye.
Sorry, I just woke up. I want to address the concerns surrounding a recent video that I posted promoting immigration to Russia for young individuals like myself. Firstly, I want to start off by saying I would never knowingly support or promote anything connected to trafficking or exploitation of any sort. However, I do understand that the video has triggered some serious concerns, as it is now being linked to the trafficking case of the 23 individuals that went to Thailand for work, etc. I do, however, take responsibility on my end that it was probably insensitive and poorly considered, especially at this time. To be very honest with you, before I accepted this collaboration, I did do as much background research as I could, and I found that there were other influencers that had already flown to Russia, not just South African influencers from around the world, to see the work environment, but also to film content that side. So for me, for them to actually go there and take videos behind the scenes, that's as genuine as it gets. And also on my end, I was considering the jobs that they're actually offering. They sound as decent as they come. Catering, transportation, roadworks, etc. All of those. And if anything, the START program, which is the people dishing out these job opportunities, say that they're coming to South Africa soon and they will be hosting an event this side. So this gives you an opportunity to interact one-on-one and ask questions. I don't know, I really just didn't like the narrative that was being spread. If anything, there are people that had gone before me, so for them to actually travel all the way that side and actually see and film, guys, I don't know, it just seems genuine. Like, don't you think? Guys, also as consumers, please normalize doing your research, like your own research. Don't just take what the other person says for it. Even DT masambe nti Europe, obviously uzabuzba, okay, kwenza ndoni Europe, sihamba njani nini phi, ngobani abo. You don't just stand up and leave just because they said the flights are free and the accommodation is free and whatever. But anyways, yeah, thank you to everyone who has held me accountable. I am committed to learning from this and making sure that nothing like this happens again. I don't like it, I can't lie. I also do recognize that intent does not erase impact. I'm also deeply sorry to anyone who was hurt, triggered in the process, like by the video, of course. Your voices matter, and again, I'd never, ever, 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 ever knowingly support or promote anything connected to human trafficking or exploitation or none of that, never.